Good morning and welcome to another edition of the Generational Wealth Management Saturday morning look back show. I'm Chris Rossetti. This morning I'm joined by Brian Hagberg and Andy Close. Our normal host, Jared Bakaiza, out on vacation this week, not available for the show this morning, but that's okay. Andy, Brian, and I will figure out a way to make this go. Once again, our show, as always, brought to you by Generational Wealth Management. John Bongiovanni, Lucas Lazek, and Adam Jack of Generational Wealth Management in Erie and Bradford are here for your investment needs. They offer world-class investment services and internationally recognized insurance products from Northwestern Mutual, an industry leader. Find out more at gwm.nm.com. That's gwm.nm.com. Generational Wealth Management. Special thanks to those guys, as always, for helping bring this show along. And another exciting night of football last night in both District 9 and District 10, and really in District 10 going back to Thursday night. And Andy, let's kind of start there with Sharpsville really taking it to Reynolds, and yet another unbelievable game from Colin Summers of Sharpsville, the quarterback, almost at 1,000 yards through 3 weeks, and that was Thursday night. But wow, what a game that was for him.
Yeah, I mean, again, this is a Sharpsville team. I think I did the numbers. I'll have to check back and look, but something around 180 points through the first 3 games is truly unbelievable what that offense is doing. And Colin Summers is. You'd be hard pressed to find a quarterback that's put together a better first 3 games of the season. He's just been unbelievable. 6 more passing touchdowns against Reynolds. Reynolds also came into that game at 2-0. Now, granted, that's a team that lost a lot, from their back-to-back district championship team, but still Reynolds. And Sharpsville really had their way with them, and that was on the heels of scoring 71 points the week before in a 71-48 win over Titusville. Just really, really impressive. He's a dual threat. He's also the leading rusher. He's close to 300 yards rushing on the season. So what he's doing to this point in the season is truly special and definitely something to monitor as we go forward.
Yeah, and then moving on to last night's games, taking a look across both districts, just going to kind of highlight. Folks, you can always get all the scores at d9and10sports.com. Scoreboard brought to you by Pizza Hut. Nobody out Pizza Hut, pizzahut.com. But, just taking a look at a couple of scores, the game I broadcast, a couple of undefeated teams, Red Bank Valley, Punxsutawney, finishes 50-27, Red Bank Valley. Game was back and forth for most of the night. It kind of got away from Punxsutawney late in the fourth quarter, but it was a one-score game in the fourth quarter, but ended up 50-27. Red Bank, fantastic night from Braylon Wagner, 375 yards passing, 6 touchdowns for Braylon Wagner. He also added a rushing touchdown. Probably put down a pretty hefty deposit on the Jim Kelly District 9 Player of the Week award, did Mr. Wagner in that game. And we'll hear from Braylon in a few moments here, what he had to say about the victory and all of that. Couple of other games that are really of note. Cameron County moved to 3-0 with a big 40-26 win at Montauk. That's a nice win for the Red Raiders to go down there and win a game at Montauk. Everything else was pretty much blowouts. Brian, you saw Bradford beat Otto Eldred 35-12. We'll hear from Adam Ward. Andy, you saw Brockway with a 49-6 win over Coudersport in a rematch of a District 9 1A playoff game a year ago that went similar in at that point in time. And we'll hear from Blake Pasarchek as well. Moving over to District 10, probably the game of the night, Farrell 21, Grove City 14, and Danny Odom, the sensational sophomore, who I understand is on a recruiting trip to West Virginia today. He had a game-winning touchdown with under 4 minutes to go on a pass from Cabron Smith, the great quarterback for Farrell. Some low-scoring games. Sharon 12, Hickory nothing. Congratulations to Iroquois, 13-7 win over Northwestern. Their first win since September of 2021. Fort LaBeouf knocked off Titusville 22-7. And really, I think those were the key games there. We will hear from Sean Pascuzzi of Eisenhower. They were a 34-13 winner over Union City. And we do have Ant Pegues of the Farrell head coach on as well, and we'll hear about that victory as well. But any of those scores surprised either of you guys?
Northeast 35-0 over Oil City for sure.
Ethan Knox didn't play in that game.
Yeah, big caveat there. Yeah, for sure.
Would be remiss not to mention that they had a player life flighted tonight too. I don't have an update on him right now, but a couple of scary situations 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, and I saw a report just before late last night, actually from Isaac Pektesh from one of the Erie TV stations that said Dan York had said that he was had movement in all his extremities, but the life flight was a precaution. So if that's the case, certainly grateful for that.
Yeah, but back to those guys. Like, were you guys surprised at all at the Farrell Grove City score? Grove City is a really good team. I think that kind of gets missed sometimes when we're talking about the great teams in District 10. When you talk about the McDowells and the Preps and the Farrells and stuff, Grove City has been the team to beat in 3A the last couple of years, and I had an opportunity to see them in the state playoffs last year. And that's a very talented team, and they really showed it tonight against Farrell, losing late in that contest. Or not tonight, last night.
Yeah, I think that says more about Grove City than does Farrell. Farrell, you want to talk about a tough schedule to open the season. Man, beat Warren Harding, which is the equivalent of a 6A school. Obviously out of Ohio last week. Beat Grove City this week. Yeah, Grove City. Hunter Homan's one of the best players in District 10. Does it not only from a dual threat quarterback, but a great defensive player as well. And then that receiving tandem that they have of Gavin Lutz and Nathan Greer is really probably as good as it gets in District 10. So I know I was probably a little surprised at how close it was, just because I have such respect for how good Farrell is. But Sam Mowry does such a great job with that Grove City program that maybe we shouldn't be surprised if that game was as close as it was.
That's kind of the way I thought. I had a chance to talk to Amp here last night, and it was part of the Cole Orthodontic Associate post game interviews that we do. Cole Orthodontics, with convenient locations in Ridgeway, St. Mary's, and Warren. You can get your game-winning smile with Cole Orthodontic Associates. And here's what Amp had to say, and I think he said a lot of what you just said, Andy. Yeah, we're here live with Amp Pegues. You'll see that Amp's kind of a little hard to see as there we go. The Amp's gotten into the light a little bit, but we appreciate Amp joining us after a big 21-14 win over Grove City tonight. And Amp, you knew going in this was going to be a slobber knocker of a game, and that's exactly what it turned out to be. Was there anything that surprised you about it?
No. I knew Grove City as well, Coach. Coach Mowry does a great job up there, and I knew their kids going to be ready to play tonight. And only thing I was really surprised about, I thought we would be really sharp coming off our win last week, and we had a lot of miscues, but I knew Grove City was going to come ready to play.
You got another great game from Cabron Smith, your quarterback, 234 yards, 3 touchdown passes. Danny Odom, 12 catches, 125 yards, including the game winner. I had a chance to see some video of it, and really just a really athletic play by Danny there. Talk a little bit about, how much easier it is to call plays when guys can make moves like Danny made on that game-winning touchdown.
Oh, for sure. He's a super sophomore. He's being heavily recruited right now. The kid is really athletic. Play a lot multi-sport kid, and we're heading to West Virginia in the morning, and the kid can really play. He's a super athlete, great hands, and when you have a 3-year quarterback like Cabron Smith throwing you the ball, you know what I mean? That kid's gonna make some plays for us.
You were coming off of such a big win last week, and then you had another really tough game. You talked about maybe thought you might be a little sharper. Was there ever any worry about maybe a letdown after such an emotionally big win across the state with, when you cross that state line and you play a team like that, now you're turning around and you got to play Grove City the next week. These are the type of games, though, where iron sharpens iron. That was something that one of the baseball coaches over in Du Bois said to me last year about, getting to where they wanted to get. And it seems to me like the same thing's going on with your football schedule right now.
Yeah, for sure. After the game last week, it was a really emotional high, and our guys, I was worried about this week. You know what I mean? I knew how good Grove City could be, and I knew having that emotional win against a big school like that over in Warren, how would it affect us coming into this week? You know what I mean? Rewind back to last year, you know what I mean? The game we had against Ursuline, and we had Grove City that same following week. And we struggled in the first half last year, you know what I mean, until we got things going. And I knew they would be better coached and well coached, and they were a good team this year. And we didn't do a lot of things that we should have did this week. And you can't do that against a good team like Grove City. You're going to hear about Grove City if not winning the D10, D3 District 10 championship. They're going to be right there in that mix, and they're going to win a lot of games. And against a good team like that, you got to be sharp and you got to be well put together. And we didn't have our best game, but I can't complain because, we still came out not playing our best game and got the W tonight. So it was one of those.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yep.
Yeah, at the end of the day, isn't that really all that matters? I mean, one of my favorite sayings is it's sometimes not how, it's how many.
Well,
In other words,
the win is great, but we got a lot of bigger goals than just winning our region. Not only just running District 10, but I feel like we got a state caliber team where you can win a state title. So yeah, it's great to get the win, but it's one of those things, you know what I mean, we got to learn from. You know what I mean? We got to bring our A game every week or we get knocked off any week.
talk a little bit about the new stadium that you guys have going on there with the new turf and how much fun that's been.
Oh, it's been great. You know what I mean? A new name, Pagee Sports Complex, and just to be able to practice every single day. There's no weather that's going to take us off this field. And we've been on this field every day probably since January. Even when there was snow and ice on the field, we found ways to get on the field and work out. And it shows, you know what I mean? Like, to have that sports complex, there's some given days where we could be on the field where there's 140 kids on the field. You're talking about from 5-year-old youth program all the way up to high school. And we're on this field practicing every day. And then we have the motto that football never stops. And we got a great basketball program here at this school as well. You know what I mean? We figure out how to share people that way. But you're talking about 140 kids every day that's putting the grind and playing. We got midget program playing tomorrow. And you know what I mean? So it's one of those things that we needed this for a very long time. And it's a blessing.
You got Greenville next week. I'm going to guess that preparation might have already started for that a little bit.
Yeah, pretty much. You know what I mean? I was just with Coach Omar here. We had a little late dinner, so to speak, with Coach Darwin, and we're already moving on to Greenville. You know what I mean? We're not going to take any team for granted. We're not going to look past any team as far as next week. We're going to look at the opponent right in front of us, and we're going to prepare well and get ready for that game.
Well, Lamb, thanks for joining us a little bit tonight. Congratulations on the big win over Grove City.
Oh, appreciate it. Appreciate you having me on, and see you soon.
Whether retirement is just around the corner or years away, John Bongiovanni, Lucas Slazak, and Adam Jack of Generational Wealth Management in Erie and Bradford are here for you. John, a Forbes-recognized best-in-state wealth advisor, Lucas and Adam provide customized investment advisory solutions and retirement planning services. Generational Wealth Management offers world-class investment services and internationally recognized insurance products from Northwestern Mutual, an industry leader. The Generational Wealth Management team provides a high level of expertise and service to their professional and business clients. Contact the Erie office at 814-651-0838 or the Bradford office at 814-368-4065 or check them out online at gwm.nm.com. Looking for affordable auto, home, and life insurance? Look no further than Allstate Insurance, the David Jones Agency in Clarion and Meadville. At the David Jones Agency, you get personalized attention from someone who lives where you do. The David Jones Agency meets you where you are. They are available during regular business hours Monday through Friday at their office, via appointment at the office after hours, or remotely. The David Jones Agency also offers investment opportunities, including annuities and IRAs. The David Jones Agency can be reached in Clarion at 814-223-4000 and in Meadville at 814-337-5107.
With convenient locations in DuBois, Ridgeway, St. Mary's, and Warren, you don't have to travel far to get your game-winning smile with Cole Orthodontic Associates. The orthodontists of Cole Orthodontic Associates have been crafting beautiful, healthy smiles in north central Pennsylvania since 1960. Born and raised in the area, the doctors and staff at Cole Orthodontic Associates are committed to the people of this region. Visit colesmiles.net to schedule an appointment or consultation at the location nearest you today.
Back here on the Generational Wealth Management Saturday Morning Look Back Show. Special thanks to Amp Geese for joining us there last night while getting ready after that big win over Grove City. And let's talk a little bit about the game you were at, Brian. Big win.
Before we get into that, Chris, I think it would be remiss. We talked about Farrell over Grove City. Grove City's going to have another tough challenge next week against a Sharon team that moved to 3-0 and has yet to surrender a point on the season so far through 3 weeks.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy what Sharon has done defensively up to this point. Anytime you can go 3 weeks in, I don't care who you're playing, and not give up a point, you're doing something right on that side of the football.
Absolutely. And I had a chance to see them up close and personal a week ago, and that defense is really, really good. They stay in position. They're fast. They fly to the ball. They're physical. They tackle in the open field well. That's going to be a defense that could really carry that Tigers team a long, long way. And, if they get through next week, I wouldn't expect that they're going to be able to shut out a very talented Grove City offense. But if they do, watch out everybody else in District 10. But if they come away with a win there, then you got to start looking down the calendar. And that October 14th matchup with Farrell is looming large for both of those teams.
No question. Let's move back over into District 9 now, Bradford, after going almost 4 years without a win, have now put together back-to-back wins. Brian, you had an opportunity last night to be at that game.
And the Owls came out and took care of business essentially right from the start. Forced a turnover on downs on the first possession, marched right down the field, put the ball in the end zone, and really never looked back. Another big performance from Talon Reese, throwing the ball, had a excuse me. Sorry, guys, getting into my totals here. I was on the half. He had 180 yards through the air and 53 yards on the ground, had a rushing touchdown, threw a pair of touchdowns as well. And 105 of those yards went to Adam Ward, who was our Allegheny Gorilla Foxburg player of the game for that game, had an 85-yard reception in the second half that he was 3 yards away from taking to the house, just had to make a move late, ended up getting caught from behind. But also had a big interception late in the first half that stopped what looked to be a promising Otto Eldred drive when it was still just 14-0, and the Terrors had a chance to kind of shift the momentum in their favor. Ward comes up with the interception, and then Bradford goes on to score and go up 21-0 instead of it being a 1 point game or a 1 possession game. It's a 3 possession game.
And Brian, you got a chance to catch up with Adam after the game on the Cole Orthodontics post-game interview, and here's what Adam had to say about that win.
Our Allegheny Grill of Foxburg player of the game here this evening, Bradford's Adam Ward, and this is our Cole Orthodontic Associates post-game interview with convenient locations in Ridgeway, St. Mary's, and Warren. You can get your game-winning smile with Cole Orthodontic Associates. And Adam, you guys have had a lot to smile about the past couple of weeks, couple of big wins for you here on the football field. What was working so well for you tonight?
We've been working really hard all week preparing for this game. And I don't know, we just worked our quick game, and then we went long, and it worked out.
Obviously, you guys broke a long losing streak a week ago at Coudersport. As you're going through your week of prep here today, and when you get onto the field today, how do you avoid that letdown and then come out and come away with a big win today?
I don't know. We worked really hard. It was really tough with a lot of fans looking down on us for all season or past 3 seasons. And then with the wins, we just got to keep progressing from here.
You had a big performance yourself, caught a touchdown pass, had the big 85-yard reception that almost made it into the end zone. When you get a big catch like that and you start breaking free, you had to make a move late. What are you seeing as you're running down the field?
I just saw number 2 Manning Splain in front of me, so I had to cut back, and then that caused me to slow down and get hit from behind.
Again, you guys come away with a big win. How do you keep this momentum going, especially on the defensive side of the ball where you guys were so effective against the run?
Coach Boyle really does a good job putting us in he does a really good job scouting for us, and we know what we're expecting.
All right, our Allegheny Grill of Foxburg player of the game, Bradford's Adam Ward. Adam, thank you so much for taking some time. Congratulations and good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Allegheny Electric Service of St. Mary's has been providing industrial and commercial electrical solutions for over 35 years. They offer complete design, build, installation, and maintenance of automated systems for a variety of industries. Allegheny Electric designs and installs wiring and lighting for any size project, big or small. And when you find yourself in a jam, they'll get your machine or facility back up and running in no time. Call Allegheny Electric Service at 814-781-1940 or visit AlleghenyElectric.com. When it's your special day, we know you want everything to be just perfect. That's why at the Allegheny Grill in Foxburg, we spared no expense in creating our new indoor-outdoor wood-framed event center with waterfalls, gorgeous views of the Allegheny River, a fire pit, and plenty of parking. The Allegheny Grill in Foxburg will take care of everything from catering to bartending, so all you have to do is bring the fun. We do it all for your wedding, anniversary party, corporate event, and so much more. One look at our new facility and we know you'll fall in love. And remember, the view is always free at the Allegheny Grill in Foxburg, PA.
Specialty Fabrication and Powder Coating LLC is family owned and operated out of Franklin, PA. SFPC is actively seeking new talent and has openings at 2 plants located in Venango County. Those openings are either first, second, or third shifts at one or both locations. Check out the specific enrollment opportunities at www.specfab.com or send an email along with your resume to careers@specfab.com. SFPC is an equal opportunity employer.
Are you sick of all the madness and hassle of traditional fundraisers? Well, then let us give you a big, warm welcome to the Tap and Pay Plus fundraising app. Thanks to Tap and Pay Plus, it's now easy for your team or group to gain online donations from supporters anywhere. Simply shop, earn, and support the team every single day. Learn more about our simple and easy fundraising app at www.tapandpayplus.com.
Back here is Brian. We'll get Andy back in there. There you are. As Adam Ward had some good stuff to say there. Hey, folks, want to remind everybody that if you're looking for something to do this afternoon at 2 o'clock, get on up to East Forest School. They've got Lisa Bodner and Whistlegrass coming in, $10 for the concert, and all proceeds go to a couple of really good causes. The Forest EMS Authority, the new one up there, to get ambulance service to both Northern Claring County and Forest County, as well as the Forest Area School District FCCLA group. Again, tickets available at the door. Get on up there, get your tickets. Check out a nice concert this afternoon. Again, starts at about 2 o'clock up there, and they'll play until about 5. Might actually go on stage about 3 and go 3 to 5, but they'll have some food and some games and some different stuff up there as well. So, like I said, make sure you get up there and check that out. And speaking about checking out, Brockway checked out Coudersport in a pretty big way tonight, Andy.
Yeah, they did. And it was funny. It was a game that Brockway dominated in the first half, but only led 21-6. And that was due to a couple turnovers. They were deep in Brockway territory in their opening drive, fumbled, did so again on their third drive, and Coudersport had an interception. So the total yardage was something like 220 to 30 at halftime. It was just 21-6. But Brockway came out and scored 2 touchdowns in the first 27 seconds of the second half. Blake Pisarcik returned the opening kickoff for a touchdown. Coudersport fumbled the opening kickoff after the touchdown. Then Braden Fox hit Pisarcik for a touchdown, 27 yards on the next play. And then 2 minutes later, they got the ball back again, and Jendi Coelho scored a 20-yard touchdown run. So 3 scores in a matter of 2 minutes and 15 seconds to open the third quarter. Really blew the game open for the Rovers.
Yeah, Blake Pisarcik, they lost him last year to a torn ACL early in the season, and so far in 3 weeks, we've seen what that young man can do and how important he is to what Brockway wants to do offensively.
Yeah, well, he had another he had 2 touchdowns receiving, touchdown rushing, and the kickoff return. He had a punt return touchdown. It was actually called back. He's over 300 yards of combined receiving, rushing, and return yards. He's just a dynamic playmaker for them. And I'll tell you what, that team, they look awfully tough, firing on all cylinders so far through 3 weeks.
Man, you got a chance to sit down last night and talk to Blake Pisarcik about the win, about his great performance, and here's what he had to say on the Cole Orthodontic Associates post-game interview with Andy Close last night.
Blake Pisarcik, our Allegheny Grill and Foxburg Player of the Game. Our Player of the Game interview brought to you by Cole Orthodontic Associates with convenient locations in Ridgeway, St. Mary's, and Warren. You can get your game-winning smile with Cole Orthodontic Associates. Blake, first of all, congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
And, Steve and I were talking kind of off the air, too. You guys, 2 touchdowns in the first 27 seconds of the second half. What was the locker room like at halftime? How were you guys able to jump out there early in the third?
We started slow in the first half. Going into halftime, our coaches were like, we got to pick it up. We got to do a lot of things better. And then us captains, we got with the team, and told them, like, we got to come out hot the second half, and that's what we did.
Mm-hmm. And for you, scoring touchdowns in a variety of ways, rushing, receiving, kickoff return, you had a punt return called back. Just talk to me a little bit about the versatility of your game.
I'm always trying to, when I get the ball, I'm always trying to find a way to score. That's my mindset anytime on offense. Same with defense. I'm always working just to, score the ball, make plays, and be the best person I can be out there.
And, I want to get to the offense in a second, but defensively, you guys really held them to just the one drive there where they scored. And they really didn't have a lot of yardage throughout the course of the game. How were you guys able to shut them down defensively?
I feel like our D-line did really well. They stepped up a lot. Same with our linebackers. And our corners, we can be a lot better than what we did, how we played tonight. But I'm going to give all the credit to our D-line and our linebackers tonight.
Mm-hmm. And then offensively, again, this team is so balanced, passing, rushing the football. I know it all starts up front. So what would you like to say about your offensive line?
Like I said, same with defense. I'm going to give all the credit to the O-line. They're being straight dogs for 48 minutes. And without them, we wouldn't be able to make plays and run the ball and do all the stuff we've been doing.
Mm-hmm. And I do want to ask you real quick, obviously everyone's thoughts in District 9 throughout the region are with Karnes City and, with what happened to Mason Martin last week. How special was that for you guys in Coudersport to kind of take part in that moment before the game?
I feel bad for him. Same with everyone from Karnes City. There's so many people behind them, supporting them, and I'm a big person of God, so I'm gonna give all my prayers out to Mason's family, and the Karnes City community.
Oh, thank you, Blake. I'm sure, they can certainly feel them. And just one last question before I get you out of here. You guys are 3-0. Where do you feel like you like where you're at right now? Where do you feel like you can get better?
Passing wise, I feel like we can get a lot better passing wise. Our chemistry isn't where it should be at, and I feel like it's going to be a lot better than what it is now. We're just going to keep going through the season.
All right, Blake Pisarcik, our Allegheny Grill of Foxburg Player of the Game. Blake,
Whether retirement is just around the corner or years away, John Bongiovanni, Lucas Slazak, and Adam Jack of Generational Wealth Management in Erie and Bradford are here for you. John, a Forbes-recognized best-in-state wealth advisor, Lucas and Adam provide customized investment advisory solutions and retirement planning services. Generational Wealth Management offers world-class investment services and internationally recognized insurance products from Northwestern Mutual, an industry leader. The Generational Wealth Management team provides a high level of expertise and service to their professional and business clients. Contact the Erie office at 814-651-0838 or the Bradford office at 814-368-4065 or check them out online at gwm.nm.com. Looking for affordable auto, home, and life insurance? Look no further than Allstate Insurance, the David Jones Agency in Clarion and Meadville. At the David Jones Agency, you get personalized attention from someone who lives where you do. The David Jones Agency meets you where you are. They are available during regular business hours Monday through Friday at their office, via appointment at the office after hours, or remotely. The David Jones Agency also offers investment opportunities, including annuities and IRAs. The David Jones Agency can be reached in Clarion at 814-223-4000 and in Meadville at 814-337-5107.
With convenient locations in DuBois, Ridgeway, St. Mary's, and Warren, you don't have to travel far to get your game-winning smile with Cole Orthodontic Associates. The orthodontists of Cole Orthodontic Associates have been crafting beautiful, healthy smiles in north central Pennsylvania since 1960. Born and raised in the area, the doctors and staff at Cole Orthodontic Associates are committed to the people of this region. Visit colesmiles.net to schedule an appointment or consultation at the location nearest you today.
Back here on the Generational Wealth Management Saturday morning look back show. Brian, last night you had a chance to talk to Sean Pascuzzi of the Eisenhower Knights. Sean helped Eisenhower move to 2-1 on the season with the win at Union City, and now I think a game that going in we thought Eisenhower was going to win. Was that score a little closer than what you were anticipating, or was that right around? It was 34-13. How did that kind of stack up?
Well, so it was tied at 13 at the half, and so this was, the final score. Eisenhower pulled away in the second half there, but this was a very close game throughout the first half. And Sean actually told me that Union City came right out and, in his words, kind of punched him in the throat, went right down the field and took the lead on the opening possession there. And again, that's you've got Union City coming off a big win at Kennedy Catholic a week ago. You've got Eisenhower coming off a tough loss at Cambridge Springs, and maybe a little bit of that bleeding into this week's game through the first half, and then in the second half, the Knights came out and took control. And and Sean even said himself that was not as close as they wanted this game to be. They felt like they were a better team than what they put on the field, especially in the first half, and that the score didn't accurately reflect the disparity between the two teams. But happy to come away with a win and get back into the win column after that tough loss at Cambridge Springs.
Well, Brian, here's what Sean had to say on the Cole Orthodontics Associates interview. Cole Orthodontic Associates, with convenient locations in Ridgeway, St. Mary's, and Warren. You can get your game-winning smile with Cole Orthodontic Associates.
Eisenhower's Sean Pascuzzi, you guys bounce back with a win at Union City tonight. Tied at the half, and then you guys were able to pull away in the second half. And you were explaining to me a little bit before we sat down for our interview that Union City kind of came out and punched you in the mouth a little bit. How much do you think of that was a reflection of them being high from a big win a week ago at Kansas City, and maybe you guys being still recovering a little bit from that loss at Cambridge Springs?
Them getting that win definitely, boosted their ego, and they definitely wanted to beat us since we beat them blew them out last year. And, they were just coming out looking for blood from the start, and our guys didn't really fight back until probably about the second quarter. We started coming alive a little bit, but yeah, definitely had a big part.
And obviously you guys have been working through replacing 3/5 of your offensive line from a year ago. It seemed like you said you guys had some issues getting them working as a unit early in this game, but then by the time the second half rolled around, they were really gelling. How important has their development been through the first 3 games of this season?
It's been really important to us because the offensive line is pretty much like the base of the offense. If the line doesn't block, you're not going to get any yards. And we've been practicing all week on blocking techniques and stuff, and seeing them come out in the second half and really get it down is a big boost for us, and feel like we'll be good next week moving forward.
And I did happen to catch a little bit of your game. The McRae and Son broadcasting team had that one available for folks to watch. And I happened to see you had a rushing touchdown. I think it was around 40 or 50 yards, somewhere in that neighborhood. Big long run. But walk me through that. What did you see on that play, and how beneficial has it been to your game to be able to have some of those designed runs in your offensive scheme?
The design quarterback runs really help our offense because I started out as a tailback, and I can really see the field pretty well, I'd say, and I can just find open lanes really quickly, and that makes a dual threat quarterback for us. So they don't act, or that the other team doesn't just have to be afraid of the pass; they have to be afraid of the run too. So it really helps our offense, spread out a little bit.
And how much does that, help you? Again, you've got some newer or fresh faces in those starting roles on the outside receivers for you. How much does it help them being able to get open, knowing the teams have to respect your ability to run?
It definitely helps a lot, especially on like roll passes. Some of the corners and safeties will fly up in the box and leaves them wide open. And I think it really gives them a boost of confidence when they can make plays like that.
So obviously you guys bounce back with a big win at Union City tonight. How much confidence does this give you heading into next week?
Definitely some confidence. I mean, it wasn't the score that we wanted, but at the end of the day, a win's a win. I feel like the guys up front really gained confidence from this game coming out in the second half and doing what they needed to. So I feel like it was a good boost of confidence for us.
All right, Eisenhower quarterback Sean Pascuzzi, congratulations on the win tonight. Thanks for taking some time with us, and good luck next week.
Thank you. Thank you.
With convenient locations in DuBois, Ridgeway, St. Mary's, and Warren, you don't have to travel far to get your game-winning smile with Cole Orthodontic Associates. The orthodontists of Cole Orthodontic Associates have been crafting beautiful, healthy smiles in north central Pennsylvania since 1960. Born and raised in the area, the doctors and staff at Cole Orthodontic Associates are committed to the people of this region. Visit colesmiles.net to schedule an appointment or consultation at the location nearest you today.
When it's your special day, we know you want everything to be just perfect. That's why at the Allegheny Grill in Foxburg, we spared no expense in creating our new indoor-outdoor wood-framed event center with waterfalls, gorgeous views of the Allegheny River, a fire pit, and plenty of parking. The Allegheny Grill in Foxburg will take care of everything from catering to bartending, so all you have to do is bring the fun. We do it all for your wedding, anniversary party, corporate event, and so much more. One look at our new facility and we know you'll fall in love. And remember, the view is always free at the Allegheny Grill in Foxburg, PA. Back here on the Generational Wealth Management Saturday morning look back show. As we take a look at District 10 through 3 weeks, what sticks out to you? Like if you had to predict now, Andy, right now, each classification, who do you think the top teams in each class are?
In Class 1A, I think a team we haven't talked about really on the show that we probably should be is Cambridge Springs. They came into the season with high expectations. They're just rolling. They shut out Eisenhower last week. Just heard from Sean Pascuzzi. They shut out Maplewood tonight. So I think that's a team that you really have to watch out for. As well as a Lakeview team that got a forfeit win this week, but kind of rolling through the first 2 weeks as well. So I think those two teams kind of really stand out. It's been Eisenhower and Reynolds the last couple of years in Class A, but I think looking at Cambridge Springs and Lakeview, that's really where I'm at in Class A. In Double A, I think I still think Farrell is obviously the team to be. I think Sharpsville, obviously with Colin Summers, is going to be a problem. And, I think Mercyhurst Prep as well, talking to them before the start of the season, I know there was a lot of excitement there, and they've done nothing to diminish that. 3 blowout wins to open the season. So I think Double A, Farrell definitely the favorite, but very intriguing. And Triple A is just loaded. Sharon and Hickory played tonight. We saw how that went. Those two teams are right there. Grove City, obviously the 2-time defending champs. They're right there. I know, Oil City had a big loss tonight. Ethan Knox, when he's healthy, that's a very good team. And then, in 4A, obviously, the bigger classification just have, Meadville, obviously, in 4A, and then Prep in 5A, and McDowell in 6A. But I think, through the first 3 weeks, nothing has really surprised me too much, but definitely a lot of intrigue there. And again, I think 3A is probably the deepest group of that bunch.
Yeah, moving over to District 9, I think that Red Bank Valley may have started to point towards separation a little bit in Single A, and that's with all due respect to Port Allegheny and Brockway, and they'll have their opportunities to play Red Bank later this year. But right now, that is a very dynamic offensive football team. Mason Klaus, Ashton Kale, Ashton George, Braylon Wagner throwing the football, Drew Byers running the football. It's very rare that you find a Class A football team that has so many weapons on offense that, you can't say, well, I'm going to go in and I'm going to take away Drew Byers, or, hey, I'm going to go in and I'm going to take away Ashton Kale. In fact, Ashton Kale has almost become, and I hate to say this because he's really not, but he's almost become like an afterthought on their offense as Mason Klaus has stepped up And then, of course, Mason's brother Owen can get in there and do some things. It's like they're rolling. They may be deeper at wide receiver than the Kansas City Chiefs are. I mean, obviously not at the same level. You know what I'm saying, though? Like,
Yeah.
at the
Oh,
high
yeah.
school level, they're just going. It's like a wide receiver factory down there right now. What Blaine Gold has going on offensively, and it's going to be interesting going forward. They've got Keystone a week from today. That'd be next Saturday, an afternoon game. It doesn't look good for the Panthers, who are already 0-3, having to go against that juggernaut. That was a really, really, really talented Punxsutawney team that Red Bank Valley ended up just taking behind the woodshed a little bit, and they did it again. Braylon Wagner, 21 of 23, 376 yards. Mason Klaus at 151 yards receiving. Caught 4 touchdowns. Wagner threw 6 of them, and it was really important. It was really impressive. I had a chance last night to sit down with Braylon Wagner after the game and talk about what he saw and what he was seeing and how much fun it is right now for him and his Bulldog teammates.
Grill of Foxburg, player of the game, the Allegheny Grill in Foxburg, where you come for the food and you stay for the view. It's time now for the Cole Orthodontics Associates post-game interview. Our player of the game interviews this year are brought to you by Cole Orthodontic Associates. With convenient locations in Ridgeway, St. Mary's, and Warren, you too can get your game-winning smile with Cole Orthodontic Associates. You're looking at our player of the game, Red Bank Valley sophomore Braylon Wagner, 6 touchdown passes, almost 400 yards unofficially passing. Braylon, wow. Just offensively, as Coach Weiser said earlier, this was not a game where the defensive coordinators were going to leave feeling real good about themselves, but the offensive coordinators, that's a whole different story. Talk a little bit about what you were seeing out there and why you were able to have so much success throwing the football.
Our preparation was like really helpful. We go over their everything they're going to do on defense, and once I see it in the game, it's just like I see it all the time. So it's just
the weapons that you have, whether it's Kale or Klaus or George or Byers, and I know I'm forgetting a few of them out there, Rylan Roop, you just have so many weapons. How nice is that as a quarterback to just be able to pick and choose who you want to throw the ball to?
It's great. I can trust any guy we throw out there. We have at least 3 more on the sidelines that are waiting for their opportunity. Whoever we throw in, I trust 100%.
Coming in, you knew that they were going to be able to throw some different things at you, that they had some athletes defensively as well. But it seemed like you guys were able to get Mason into space. And when you get Mason into space, how much fun is that to watch?
Oh, it's great. Mason's such a good athlete. He's good at all the sports he plays, and he's just great.
Braylon, an emotional week for you guys after last week. How did you guys handle it? Obviously a little easier on your end than maybe the Karnes City end, but talk a little bit about how Coach Gold kept you guys focused all week in keeping the important stuff in mind.
It was heartbreaking for sure, but we always tried to just say we're going to play for him and do everything for Mason. So yeah.
When you were given the opportunity to wear number 2 as a quarterback, and you heard it was going to be like that around the district, how quickly did you jump at that opportunity?
I didn't even let him finish the sentence.
That's what I figured. I know that the Red Bank community has been one of the leading forces, folks, behind raising money for Mason Klaus. You guys had it on your helmet tonight, or not? Yeah, Mason Martin. Mm-hmm. Jeez, I apologize for that, but for Mason Martin, you guys had it on the helmet and everything. But just what would you have to say to him and his family right now?
We're praying for you, and we just hope you get better from all of Red Bank Valley.
And we ditto that from the YDL Sports Network and from everything I've heard across District 9 and District 10, folks. On that note, Mason, we're going to let you go and spend some time with your teammates now. Congratulations on earning the Allegheny Grill of Foxburg Player of the Game honor, and thank you for this Cole Orthodontics interview. Folks, we'll return in... Whether retirement is just around the corner or years away, John Bongiovanni, Lucas Slazak, and Adam Jack of Generational Wealth Management in Erie and Bradford are here for you. John, a Forbes-recognized best-in-state wealth advisor, Lucas and Adam provide customized investment advisory solutions and retirement planning services. Generational Wealth Management offers world-class investment services and internationally recognized insurance products from Northwestern Mutual, an industry leader. The Generational Wealth Management team provides a high level of expertise and service to their professional and business clients. Contact the Erie office at 814 814-651-0838 or the Bradford office at 814-368-4065 or check them out online at gwm.nm.com.
Specialty Fabrication and Powder Coating LLC is family owned and operated out of Franklin, PA. SFPC is actively seeking new talent and has openings at 2 plants located in Venango County. Those openings are either first, second, or third shifts at one or both locations. Check out the specific enrollment opportunities at www.specfab.com or send an email along with your resume to careers@specfab.com. SFPC is an equal opportunity employer.
Are you sick of all the madness and hassle of traditional fundraisers? Well, then let us give you a big, warm welcome to the Tap and Pay Plus fundraising app. Thanks to Tap and Pay Plus, it's now easy for your team or group to gain online donations from supporters anywhere. Simply shop, earn, and support the team every single day. Learn more about our simple and easy fundraising app at www.tapandpayplus.com.
Back here as we go to wrap up the Generational Wealth Management Saturday morning look back show for Saturday, September the 9th. Just a reminder, if you're looking for something to do today, head on up to East Forest School, 2 to 5. Lisa Bodner and Whistlegrass putting on a live concert, just $10, with all the proceeds benefiting the Forest County EMS Authority, giving ambulance service back to Northern Claring County and Forest County, as well as the Forest County, the Forest Area FCCLA. And as we wrap this show up, it goes to show Jared that we're able to do a show without him, but it's just not quite the same without our boy Jared Bakaisa. He'll be back next week to bring all the great interviews that he does every week. And it was a little bit of a hard time without Jared here this week, wasn't it, Brian?
Yeah, well, struggling a little bit, and the three of us last night were all over District 9, so trying to getting us together in and of itself was a bit of an adventure as we're traveling throughout District 9. But Jared always does a great job of kind of keeping everything centered, and like you said, Chris, getting a lot of those interviews out of the way by the time we get back and get set up. He's got most of the show ready to go.
Yeah. So what's everybody Saturday looking like?
I'm spending time with the in-laws up at their house up in Frewsburg, New York. So I'll be up there for most of the afternoon.
There some sort of not touch a truck. Wasn't there some sort of event going on in Warren this week, and Brian, or is that next weekend?
Oh, there's events going on in Warren every weekend. There's there's a car show. There's bike rodeo. There's
a car show. I was talking to John Papalea last night from the Warren County Chamber of Business Industry, and he's telling me about the car show. That's what it was. I knew there was something going on. You can find out what's going on in Warren County by going to wcvb.net/events, the Warren County Visitors Bureau, one of our great sponsors, of course. And Andrew, what do you have going on this beautiful Saturday morning? Maybe beautiful. I'm not sure. It might be raining.
It may not be. May go check that out. May go, catch some football. Maybe go see the Sheffield Wolverines in action. So we'll see what the day holds. It should be a fun Saturday and a fun weekend.
Sheffield playing Montrose today at 3 p.m. If anybody's interested in some football action, I think I might head over. There's a possibility I might end up later on this afternoon over at Clarion University game against Bloomsburg. They're bringing back the 1983 team. Maybe see some people, former Clarion Limestone, Slippery Rock head coach, Butler head coach Clyde Conti, I hear might be there. Might stop by, say hi to Clyde, see how he's doing. We'll see. NFL season gets fully underway tomorrow. Brian, who do your Eagles have?
The dreaded New England Patriots. Well, I don't think they're as dreaded anymore as they used to be, but they're up in New England tomorrow.
Your prediction?
Hey, no, sorry. Pulling out my Mr. T from Rocky 3 there. No, Eagles by 10.
And of course, Andy and I both Steelers fans. They host the San Francisco 49ers tomorrow afternoon. As long as Andy doesn't go to Aggie Shore Stadium, we should be okay. For those who don't know, Andy is banned from going and watching the Steelers play at AccuSure Stadium. They don't ever seem to win when he shows up. So if you're an anti-Steeler fan, you might want to buy Andy a season ticket package. It would most likely assure that Mike Tomlin no longer has a winning season. But no, knowing Mike Tomlin, he'll find a way to go like 8-0 on the road and tie one of those games that Andy's at. So it would keep him from the non-losing season. But Andy, your prediction on the Steeler game tomorrow?
I feel pretty good about it. I think there's renewed optimism, and I think they catch San Francisco in week 1. It's obviously a very good team, but I think they win by a field goal.
Steeler Eagles Super Bowl might not be good for the YDL Sports Network, but I'll say this: we're all better than Jared, who's a Baltimore Ravens fan. So.
Hey, Chris, before we get out of here, I think we would be remiss if we didn't point out how about Bucktail is 3-0 and have won as many games this season as they have the past 3 years combined. It's just a good story for the Bucks out there in Renovo.
Yeah, playing in the District 9 League, Region 3, Bucktail has wins over Sheffield, West Branch, and last night they defeated Elk County Catholic. Another winnable game at Otto Eldred coming up next Friday night, and then they've got Sheffield again. Could they be 5-0 going into the game against Cameron County on September 29th?
It's certainly possible. I will say this: watching that game last night, obviously it was a 35-12 final, but really, Otto Eldred had a lot of opportunities to keep that game close, and for whatever reason, Shane McGee just couldn't quite get the timing down with his receivers. His passes were going a little bit high all night long. Late in the second half, had a couple of long touchdown strikes for those 12 points for the Terrors. But if the Terrors offense is clicking and McGee's hitting those receivers in stride, that offense is one that could do a lot of damage in a big hurry.
Well, we know we've got at least a couple of games on next week. I'll be down at Punxsutawney, Central Clarion at Punxsutawney. That should be a big one. The Wildcats put up 72 on Union AC Valley tonight. Brian, you've got Conneaut at Warren next week. Maybe a chance for the Dragons to get off the schneid, to use a Coach Al term. We still have you, Brian? I think Brian froze on us, Andy.
Everybody kind of went away there for a second.
So, Brian, we were just talking about how you have the Warren Conneaut game next week, and we were just wondering if that was an opportunity for Warren to get off, as Coach Al likes to call it, the schneid.
I mean, it's certainly an opportunity. It's going to be some interesting pregame festivities. It's their military appreciation night next week. So I know there's going to be a lot of stuff going on pregame. And they're welcoming in a Connie, a team that's also struggling a bit, especially on the offensive side of the ball. Warren scored his first points of the season last night, so certainly something for Cody Bupp and the Dragons to take a positive away from that game against Girard. But the Dragons got to find a way to get something going offensively. I know running back Tommy Nyquist is working his tail off to try to get back after suffering an injury in week 1. And that could be the difference if he's able to go against Connie. Again, I'm not sure if that's the case or not, but if he's able to go, that makes a huge difference and really would boost the Dragons' chances of coming away with their first win of the season.
So that'll do it for this edition of the Saturday Morning Look Back Show, brought to you by Generational Wealth Management. Thanks to my co-host, Brian Hagberg and Andy Close. And till next Saturday, folks, of course, we'll have plenty of stuff on the YDL Sports Network this week. Got Corey and Clarion Volleyball, I know, coming up on my end on Tuesday. That should be a heck of a District 9, District 10 volleyball showdown from Bobcat land. But we'll have plenty of broadcasts again across all sports this week. And then, of course, the football games next Friday. And the Saturday Morning Look Back Show coming up next week with Jared Bekaiza back in the saddle. But until then, for Andy Close and Brian Hagberg, this is Chris Rossetti saying